Good morning, everybody. Just takes a second for this to switch over. All right. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me go ahead and put this video to the side so that I can answer all of your questions. There we go. There we go. Hope everybody is doing well. We are live. For some reason, I can't seem to be seeing the Q&A, which is really weird. But let me go see if I could see it in the YouTube channel real quick. All right, let's see what happens. There we go. There, we could see you guys live. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Prom. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Brian. Hope you guys are well. Let me go ahead and share my screen. If I don't share my screen like yesterday, it's not going to be pretty. All right. Here we go. Here we go. That's it. Now we're in business. Campbell, how are you? How are you, Cam? Good to see you. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into all the good stuff that we need to talk about today. We've got important reports. So, getting into the session as of this morning, as you can see here, the Nasdaq is up about 64 points, quite a bit. The S&P is rather flat. There's just not much going on yet because of the Dow. The Dow is really, really not making a commitment before the report. As I mentioned yesterday, this is what's on the table, and most Feds are going to be looking at this data right here. They're going to be looking at JB, hello. They're going to be looking at the core right here, X food and energy. That's what you guys have to pay attention to. Very, very, very important. I mean, that's really where the money is. I mean, we could look at the year over year CPA, which is not expected to be better, but here is what the Fed looks at. Any number, 3.9, 3.8, any number will be good. As long as it's not 4. If it's 4, then the Fed's going to say, well, we've got a problem on the horizon. Things are not moving as fast as we'd like them to be moving. And I know you guys could see my screen share because I'm sharing my screen right now. Good morning. Good morning, Jim, JB, Alseric. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys could hear me okay. Brian, hello, how are you? Look at that. Your first one there. That's what I'm talking about. The early fish is the one that gets the worm. All right. So looking at the data, and I do want to look at some of this data. If you look at the global economy, you will see U.S. consumer inflation reports. That's today. S&P and tech-heavy Nasdaq, and the tech is what's driving us right now, made a 1.5-week high, and the blue chips made a 1-week high. It's interesting. The fact that the blue chips are following tech once again is a very big sign that this is a real rally. Tech leading is a bullish sign. Jody, Aaron, how are you? Here, now this is where things get interesting. I love reading these Fed comments because the Fed doesn't really know what's going on right now, and they're trying to buy as much time as possible. He says Wednesday monetary policy is now tight enough to steer inflation back to target levels. At the same time, he suggested that policymakers require more evidence of a slowdown in inflation before cutting rates. Does that sound like March to you? No, it doesn't. I expect that there will be a need to maintain a restrictive stance of policy for some time. For some time. I'm going to say it again. For some time. Does that sound like 75 days to you or 70 days? No. And will only be appropriate to dial back the degree of policy restraint when we are confident that inflation is moving towards 2% on a sustained basis. Basically, what he's saying is we're just not there yet. The odds now are 67%, and I've mentioned before, and I'll talk about it again, about the bond market and the relationship. We've got CPI. We talked about the core, it having the biggest impact. China is not giving us much tailwind. They closed slightly higher, but at least they didn't dump, which is very important. Very, very important. The Nikkei, sharply higher. A year ago, 10 months to a year ago, I told you this was going to happen because they have a new prime minister who wants to raise rates. I think, Adam, good morning. I think I'm thinking July. I'm thinking maybe July. And we'll have Graham Lindman in my VIP room. He's big on crypto. He's going to be talking about the possibilities on crypto in my VIP room for like 5-10 minutes at the end. Uh, they're moving higher as the government approved 11 spot exchange traded U.S. securities exchange. This is going to be big, big, big because now we're going to be able to trade ETFs. So this is very, very important, and this will help us a lot. And by the way, folks, here is the link. Here's the link right now for my VIP room. There you go. There you go. There's the link for my VIP room. Don't miss out. It's happening at 11 a.m. today. And here's a link for Graham's webinar. It's happening at noon today. I'll post that for you as well. Okay, now let's continue. Earnings, the major earnings start tomorrow. I'm really glad. I'm really, really glad that the Fed data is coming out today instead of tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got PPI, but it's not as big as the CPI. So now let's talk about technicals. And this is where things get hairy. Now, I was very, very concerned that this move right here was going to be a false breakout. Okay. Good morning, Eric. And you can always also rewind this and go back a few minutes and watch it backwards. But this seemed to be the real deal. We are right now hovering at the highs, and this is a very, very bullish sign. What I'm hopeful for is that the move today isn't going to be, the report is going to give us a little bullish sign and then come right back down. That's why it's going to be really, really important today in the morning to give the market a little time to digest this report so we could see which way the ship is flowing, which way the wind is blowing, if you will. Because a lot of times what you will see on these reports is you'll see a really happy bullish market. It'll open higher. It's going to do really well. And then it just comes back right here. So we got to be really, really careful that this is a meaningful, a real meaningful move and not just some cockamamie ploy for the market makers to take this higher, hit all these stops, and break us down. And similar for the SPY right here. Very, very similar. Notice the SPY isn't getting as much air. That's very concerning. So if today, see this little arrow right here I drew? Here, right there. If this doesn't start filling the gap more and more and more, we're going to get some negativity from the market. It's not going to be as bullish as a lot of folks may think. So we got to be really, really careful today in how we approach the market in light of everything we're seeing. We got to be like super, super careful because you've got this report, and then here's the bond market. Now look at where the bond market is. This is very interesting. The last time the stock market was making a swing high, the bond market was making a swing high. Right now, and this is one of the reasons why I'm very skeptical, the QQQ is lagging. It's not up here like the SPY. See, the SPY is past this level. The QQQ is not. It's not. It's got a little downtrend. Right here, look. Here, let me, oops, why can I not draw this morning? Huh, it doesn't want to give me a trend line. Yeah, there, oh, I see, it's too low. Okay, but you guys see what I'm talking about right here. It's a downtrend. And on the bond market, you've got the same thing. You've got a downtrend. Not only that, we are right now right at the 200-day moving average. So this is a major issue because if the bond market breaks down, this is going to put the pressure on the stock market quite a bit. That's one of the reasons why the Dow Jones and the QQQ are not swinging as high as they were. See that? They're not making a high just yet. They're almost there, but we got to be careful. If we're not careful, we're going to be toasted. I mean that. We're going to be really, really toasted. Now, so we got to keep an eye this morning. You're going to have to keep an eye on the bond market tremendously. The bond market will show its face. And what's really good is the report comes out an hour before the market opens. So we got plenty of time, and I'll be sending you Telegram alerts in the private channel and the public channel, notifying you of what's going on so you guys can be aware of everything. As far as sectors are concerned, let's just really quickly talk about sectors, and I'll move on to the stocks that I'm really liking right now. So as far as sector strength, I've shown this to you guys over the last few days. It looks like everything that was coming down the last week and a half is everything that's low interest rate environment is starting to come up. Now that's very bullish for the market. But again, today we have that report, and that report is extremely instrumental in seeing whether we're going to continue. Notice the small caps didn't come back up. Everything came up. Everything came up. The semiconductors, the home builders, the technology, the QQQ, the communication, but retail didn't. Russell didn't, and mid caps didn't. So it's telling me that this upswing. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Matt. It's telling me that this upswing that we are seeing in the market right now is not as powerful as this one right here because it doesn't have the bonds behind it and the Fed data is not as strong. So I would actually consider the NASDAQ much more accurate right now than the SPY in terms of market cap because, again, this thing right here can go right up to this level, right up a little here, trigger all the buy stops and start coming right back down. We got to be super, super careful. Now, let me give you a list of my stocks that I'm looking at today that I'm really liking. And again, this is my pre-morning hit list. These are going to be the stocks that I'm looking at in the next couple of hours. Okay, I'll give you that list. Are you guys enjoying this morning broadcast? Are you guys getting some value out of this? Please let me know in the chat. Please, please, please let me know in the chat. I want to make sure. And there's also about an 8-second delay between the time I'm talking and the time you guys are hearing everything. All right. So, healthcare sector. I like the healthcare sector. I don't think it's overdone. I'm not seeing moves like this. I've only seen 2 bars like this. But if the news is fair today, we should see more upside. I'm just giving you a list of stocks that I'm attracted to right now. JB, how are you? Jody, good, 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 good. Tom, good. GE made an all-time high yesterday after a nice bottom swing. I like GE. Let me give you some more. Visa. I like Visa. And by the way, you might or may not notice the stocks that I'm talking about today, I've been talking about the last few days. Steve, how are you? There's not a lot of new stuff here, and that's good. That means we're consistent. That means we're still following the same stocks. ZBH. You don't need 100 million stocks. Thank you, Al Sarek. Look at this one. Now, be careful. We're almost at the 200-day moving average. I would rather wait for it to hit the 200-day and pass it before moving on to this. So this is on my hit list, but I'm not going to do nothing until it breaks above the 200-day moving average. We got the next one, Annette. This is a networking stock. Right here. Nice little breakout, still moving higher. And it's leading the text right now. Look at this. It's got a nice flow to it. I'll be watching this stock this morning. Another one, ENOV. I like this breakout. Nothing holding it back right here. Very nice stock. Like this stock. You guys should write down this list. Elf. Elf is a beauty supply store. Go figure. Looks good. Just made a swing low. Had a nice little support here. Hit the exit. And sometimes I'll call out a stock and they will come down, but they'll come up. Like, for example, this was a stock from VIP Room. Not VIP Room. This was Alpha Top Stock. We didn't make a lot of money on this stock. We got the stock around here. It took a dump. The option was down about 50, 60%, but this long-term strength was still bullish. We held it. We got out at scratch the other day, but we didn't take a 50, 60% loss because the trend was still bullish. And I'm still bullish on this stock, by the way. Next one, ETN. Notice we're finding stocks that have a very, very clear directional bias. Oh, I really like this stock a lot right now. And I like how it's not, the bars are not big yet. I like this stock. I hope you guys are getting value out of this. I really do. Last bullish stock. Actually, no, this is not the last bullish stock. I still have a few more. Right here, TT, nice bullish stock. I'm not going to give you my buy levels or anything like that in the morning. I just don't have time, but at least it'll give you a hit list and set you up for the rest of the day. Oh, man, I love this stock. I'm going to have to tell Matt to buy this for the Alpha Top stock. These are the type of, if you guys can get an imprint into your mind of like a perfect looking trend, this would be it right here. Look at this. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you the secret to your success. If you could find stocks like this, you don't have to be a good market timer. I'm not kidding. You don't have to be a good market timer because these stocks, it's like it's like finding a good wave and trying to get some movement on it. You don't have to be a genius. Just hold on to the surfboard and you'll go with it. So this is a really nice stock. Now, do I know is a guaranteed to go up? No, but notice it hasn't had bars like this. It hasn't had any drama. It's been just kind of moving along. There hasn't been any discord between buyers and sellers. It's very, very, very important. Good, Michael. And see, I'm not telling you stuff after the fact. I'm literally giving you the stocks that I'm going to be watching today. And yes, I am going to be watching these stocks today all day. Again, another one. Now, I would have liked it more right here, but I still like it. Again, nice, smooth, even trend. Checkpoint Software, good stock. And last long, MLM. Materials, basic materials. Look at this trend. Beautiful, beautiful trend. Cam says, what's your general rule for selecting option strikes and expiration? Let me finish my list and I'll talk about it. That's easy. And it's easy, and I'll talk about it in just a second. Kimberly, Northridge kid. I'm a Northridge kid. Jeez. My office was on Reseda, Kimberly. If you live in Northridge, you know where Reseda is, obviously. Nordoff and Reseda, right across from the Blockbuster that was there for 20 years. Anyway, the Big Five, right across from there. That's where my office used to be. I had it for many, many years there. Okay, before I moved to Los Angeles. Okay, so I like this stock. Now, short stocks. I gave you this as a freebie yesterday. I gave you this stock as a freebie. Nothing changed. I'm still bearish on this stock. It's a nasty, nasty stock. Nasty, nasty stock. And another one is APA. Don't tell Matt. He's really bullish on energy stocks, so we don't want to tell Matt, my assistant. But I think that, and this is natural gas, by the way. It looks like it's had it. The thing about it is we're right at this support level. I would probably wait for it to break this level, because once it breaks this level, it's got all the way till 30. So let's wait for it to break the current level. The current level that it needs to break is at 32. All right, it's got to break 32. Now, Raleigh asked me about how to select options. Now, folks, I have a very easy way of selecting options, and it works very well. And even if you don't get it 100%, you'll get within 90%. So here's Microsoft. And by the way, I really liked Microsoft yesterday a lot. Don't know if it's going to break above, but I like Microsoft. So let's say we were looking to buy Microsoft this morning, hypothetically, of course. We would go to the option strike price. We have 1 day on this option. It's not enough time. This one, 8 days, perfect time. I like to go over 2 days, preferably 8 to 10 days. So 19th or the 26th, and then I go 2 strike prices in the money. So this is 384 right now. Let's just say hypothetically 385, okay? So here's 385, 1, 2, or 3 right here, right there. Here's my sweet spot right there. That's it. That's all you have to do. Go out more than 2 days and go in more than two or more strike prices. It's the rule of twos. It has to have more than 2 days. Usually what happens is after 2 days, you'll have like 10 days. So the sweet spots between 8 and 12 days. Sometimes I'll go 17 days, but usually the rule of thumb is between 10 and 17 days and 2 strike prices in the money. So if this was trading at 385, it's not, it's at 382. So 382, we'd go to 377 or 375. Usually second or third strike price in the money, just depending on where the spreads are better. That's it. That's my rule. So every time you guys ask me, how do I buy options? That's what I'm doing. I'm going to more than 2 days expiration, which usually puts me about 8 or 9 days out, and because everything is weekly now. And then I go 2 strike prices in the money. So if this is a call, 382.50. Where's 382.50? 1, 2, right there. That's simple. So you don't have to, Roger, how come you're not giving the option for this? Why aren't you giving the option? And if you're in my trading pit, I do it exactly the same way. So if I just give you a stock and I didn't give you an option because I didn't have the time, I'm always going over 2 days out and 2 strike prices in the money. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Cam, for bringing it up. Does everybody understand? I hope everybody understands. Okay, so Today is going to be a very interesting day. The ETF, today's Thursday. I always give you my top ETF. My top ETF is the healthcare, which I gave you already. It's my number one pick because look at how the trend is moving. And it's not interest rate sensitive, by the way. Look at this trend. That's a nice trend. Real nice trend. Hardly any pullbacks. Look at that. So just a few days pullback. Charles, great leadership for analyzing the market and stocks. Good. I'm so glad you guys are getting value out of it. Now, before I let you guys go, it's very exciting because Graham is going live at noon for his very first crypto briefing. Bitcoin has been on fire lately, and in hopes that the SEC is about to approve an ETF that tracks the king of crypto coins, it did late Wednesday, which is fantastic. Now, during the briefing, he'll cover a few things: how major January upgrade could send Bitcoin soaring, and how to take advantage of a little known Bitcoin hack from any brokerage account trading just like Apple or Amazon, and his number one way to invest in Bitcoin. All you got to do is click the link below this video or the link that I posted right here. Whoops. Almost posted. Let me repost it again. Right here. And you guys can see Graham live right after my VIP room. And my VIP room link is going to be, remember, it's at 11 a.m. today. It's not at noon. And boy, oh boy, we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I will see you guys there. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys got some value. We talked about quite a lot of stuff. And I will see you at 11 a.m. Eastern time in my VIP room. Bye. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon.